Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Yesterday I put out a video talking about a new product from my friends over at Celestion Speakers. More specifically, Celestion Plus Digital, which is their division that specializes in making impulse responses, and now these amazing new dynamic speaker responses, or DSRs, that work solely with their new Speaker Mix Pro software plugin, which can be used inside of your DAW of choice when you're recording. For anybody who didn't watch my video yesterday, what Speaker Mix Pro does is allows you to load impulse responses, any impulse response, plus it works with Celestion's new dynamic speaker responses, which are basically responses of speakers that are non-linear. So they react more to our playing. They react different depending on how much input signal is hitting them. So this is a real game changer as far as I'm concerned, as far as the whole impulse response game goes, as I mentioned in the video yesterday. And yesterday I gave you some examples of just me playing through them in comparison to sort of static impulse responses. And I've got a lot of great feedback from that, and a lot of folks were able to hear the differences that I was feeling as I was playing, and I hope it was going to come across that way. So really great stuff from the folks at Celestion. But what I wanted to do today was just give you some of the sounds of these new dynamic speaker responses in a mix with some guitars that were layered. So what I've done is I've taken a song from my latest album, which I had the wonderful fortune of working again with my good friend Marco Miniman on drums, so that's what you're going to hear here, and my great friend and amazing bass player Jason Henry, fellow Canadian. He's an absolutely amazing player and a great guy, as well as Marco. He's also another wonderful guy. I love working with these guys. But I decided to use this because I had some tracks I could reamp. So you're basically going to hear the same tracks. There's a panned hard and left right rhythm guitar, and there's a lead guitar over top of it at various points. It's about a 45-second clip of music. This video is going to be kind of long just because you're going to hear that same clip of music reamped through various versions of these dynamic speaker responses, different speakers, and a couple different speaker combinations. I have always loved ribbon mics, so I always gravitate towards sort of the Royer R121, but I threw a couple SM57 versions in there as well. I kept all the settings the same though, as far as the Z curve and the input and whatnot. So what you're hearing is just sort of an apples to apples comparison, and all that's changing out is the speaker type, and also whether you'll see on the screen whether I used a closed back, open back, 212, 412, and so on. Unfortunately, I couldn't do, nor would I probably want to do, an entire video where it would be like 6 hours long if I went through their whole collection. I only own so many of these, so I just kind of picked a cross-section of the ones that I own. This is not about which one sounds better. Everybody's going to have different opinions about that. And the other thing also is I did a mix based off of one speaker response, and you know, if I was mixing this for an album, I would have tweaked things different. I would have added some EQ. I would have changed things to really fit in the mix, but that's not what this is about. So the mixes you're going to hear are not necessarily how I would have them come out if I was releasing an album, but more just to let you hear without any other sort of processing, no EQing or anything, just to hear what these responses sound like on their own. So some of the mixes might be a little bit dark and a little bit different than what I would come out with, but it's just so you can hear the exact same thing, feeding the different dynamic speaker responses, so you can kind of hear how they sound. So I hope it's enjoyable, just more to allow people to hear how these differ from one another. I'm going to mark timestamps in the video so that if you're interested in one particular speaker, you can kind of jump between them and also compare them that way, so you don't have to just kind of be searching through the video. I think that'll help with this one. So without further ado, here they are. I hope you enjoy. so that was it. What'd you guys think? As I mentioned, you know, these mixes were not perfect by any means. It was more about, you know, using a particular dynamic speaker response with no processing after the fact. You know, yes, I added a little bit of delay on some of the leads and whatnot, maybe a touch of room reverb just to give it a little bit of life. And I didn't use the reverb built into Speaker Mix Pro, although there's beautiful reverb built into there if we want to add that in, just because I wanted to kind of keep the raw dynamic speaker response file the way it was, so you're just hearing that speaker response without anything else kind of blended in, and everything got the same treatment. So anyways, I hope that helps you guys to decide maybe which of these speaker responses you like better. You can go pick up Speaker Mix Pro from my good friends over at Celestion on their CelestionPlus.com website. I'll put the link below. Don't think you'll be disappointed. This is a really wonderful studio tool that I plan on using for my productions in the future, and I really think the folks at Celestion have done a really bang-up job with this product, and it's a really nice tool for us studio folks to have to really kind of raise the game on this whole impulse response thing that's been around for so long. So anyways, I hope that was enjoyable, guys. Thank you so much. Please like the video, share it with anybody who you think would get use of it, and go watch my video yesterday if you want some more in-depth look at what these DSRs actually are and a deeper look at Speaker Mix Pro. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the little bell notification to get notified when I put new content out. I will be back really soon. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Ciao for now.